So if you guys remember, we had explained the feelings chart. So in the feelings chart, wherein we had talked about above the line feelings and below the line feelings. So on the above the line feelings, gratitude or thank you was at number 2, but the topmost spot was of love. So this book is all about the power of love, not just the ilu love that is part of the love, but the love for the children, the love for things, the love for objects, the love for nature, the love for caring, anything that, as per me, I define it, can make me feel or be the way I am. That's love. So you are at total comfort. There is no disease. So let's start the book. We'll cover it up from the introduction, since we've done the introduction. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, we can.
Perfect. So as you can see, we are all meant to have an amazing life. And that's one of the main reasons that we are here in this platform, reading this wonderful book and layer by layer unveiling all the things that are required to lead to an amazing life. What is the power? What this power is, I cannot say. All I know is that it exists. Alexander Graham Bell, 1847 to 1922, inventor of the telephone. I would like to just pause here and ask everybody, what exactly do we mean by power? What is power? The dictionary definition is very different. It says when you can show control over others, or you are the ruling party, that means you are in power. It has various different definitions. The one which I actually liked, as per the dictionary, Cambridge Dictionary, it says it's a natural skill, an ability to do something. I have the power to do something. I have that natural skill. So, it's something which you already possess inside of you. So this power is nowhere to be looked out. You just have to get on and remove those layers which is hiding the power. Getting on to the book, life is simple. Your life is made up of only 2 kinds of things: positive things and negative things. Each area of your life, whether it's your health, money, relationships, work, or happiness, is either positive or negative to you. You have plenty of money or you lack money. You are brimming with health or you lack health. Your relationships are happy or difficult. Your work is exciting and successful or dissatisfying and unsuccessful. You are filled with happiness or you don't feel good a lot of the time. You have good years or bad years, good times or bad times, good days or bad days. This world is a planet of duality. So it's only with the good you see the bad, because when you see the bad, then you realize, yeah, there is good. So you will always have these 2 emotions. That's called the duality of the planet. Where there is good, there has to be bad. That's how you know that is good. because that's your first reason and your first experience where you start getting into comparison. So in this duality comes the birth of comparison. So if you have more negative things than positive things in your life, then something is very wrong and you know it. You see other people who are happy and fulfilled and whose lives are full of great things, and something tells you that you deserve all that too. And you're right, you do deserve a life overflowing with good things. And here, good things mean in all spheres of life. We are not talking about just the career, just the money part, or the family part, or the relationship part. We are talking about all spokes of life: health, relationships, money, career, everything. So we are heading for a good life in all spheres. Most people have a great life, don't realize exactly what it was that they did to get it. But they did do something. They used the power that is the cause of everything good in life. Without exception, every person who has a great life used love to achieve it. The power to have all the positive and good things in life is love. Love has been talked about and written about since the beginning of time in every religion and by every great thinker, philosopher, prophet, and leader. But many of us have not truly understood their wise words. Even though their teachings were specifically for people in their time, their one truth and message to the world is still the same today: love. Because when you love, you are using the greatest power in the universe, the force of love. Love is an element which, though physically unseen, is as real as air or water. It is an acting, living, moving force. It moves in waves and currents like those of the ocean. Prentice Mulford, 1834 to 1891, New Thought author. The kind of love that the greatest thinkers and saviors of the world talked about is very different from what most people understand love to be. It is much more than loving your family, friends, and favorite things, because love is not just a feeling. Love is a positive force. Love is not weak, feeble, or soft. Love is the positive force of life. Love is the cause of everything positive and good. There are not 100 different positive forces in life. There is only one, and that's love. Nature's great powers like gravity and electromagnetism are invisible to our senses, but their power is indisputable. Likewise, the force of love is invisible to us, but its power is in fact far greater than any of nature's powers. The evidence of its powers can be seen everywhere in the world. Without love, there is no life. Take a moment to think about it. What would the world be without love? First of all, you won't even exist. Without love, you couldn't have been born. None of your family and friends would have been born either. In fact, there won't be a single human being on the planet. If the force of love ceased today, the entire human race would decrease and eventually die out. Every single invention, discovery, and human creation came from the love in a human heart. If it were not for the love of the Wright brothers, we could not fly in an aeroplane. If it were not for love of scientists, inventors, and discoverers, we would not have electricity, heating, or light, nor would we be able to drive a car or use a phone, appliance, or any other technology that makes life easier and more comfortable. Without the love of architects and builders, there would be no homes, buildings, or cities. Without love, there would be no medicines, doctors, or emergency facilities, no teachers, schools, or education. There would be no books, no paintings, and no music, because all of these things are created from the positive force of love. Take a look around you right now. Whatever you see that is human creation would not be there without love. Take away love, and our earth is a tomb. Robert Browning, 1812 to 1889, poet. Love is the force that moves you. Everything you want to be, do, or have comes from love. Without love, you won't move. There would be no positive force to propel you to get up in the morning, to work, play, dance, talk, learn, listen to music, or do anything at all. You'd be like a stone statue. It is the positive force of love that inspires you to move and gives you the desire to be, do, or have anything. The positive force of love can create anything good, increase the good things, and change anything negative in your life. You have the power over your health, your wealth, your career, your relationships, and every area of your life. And that power, love, is inside you. But if you have the power over your life and that power is inside you, why isn't your life amazing? Why isn't every area of your life magnificent? Why don't you have everything you want? Why haven't you been able to do everything you wanted to do? Why aren't you filled with joy every day? The answer is because you have a choice. You have a choice whether to love and harness the positive force or not. And whether you realize it or not, every day of your life, every moment of your life, you have been making this choice. Without exception, every single time you experience something good in your life, you loved and harnessed love's positive force. And every single time you experience something not good, you didn't love, and the result was negativity. Love is the cause of all the good things in your life. And a lack of love is the cause of all the negative things and all the pain and suffering. Tragically, a lack of knowledge and understanding of the power of love is clear in people's lives across the planet today and in the entire history of humanity. Love is the most powerful and still most unknown energy in the world. Pierre Teilhard de Chardin, 1881 to 1955, priest and philosopher. Now you are receiving the knowledge of the one and only power to all the good things in life, and you will be able to use it to change your life, entire life. But first, you must understand how love works. It's very important if you see when he talked about whatever is happening in our life as of now is the result of all the choices we've been making. Whatever choice we make gives you that desired consequence. It's till the time you do not change that choice, the consequences will not change. If I'm following a recipe, what am I doing? I'm adding 4 or 5 items. It's the same choice. till the time I don't change the input or the recipe, my result is not going to change. The consequences are not going to change. So what if there is a lack in some area, we need to see what are the choices we are making. Ultimately, it's all the consequences of wherever you are in life are your choices. Change the choice, the consequence will change. So it's very, very important to see what are the choices we are making, evaluate the choices we are making. And if you're not happy with the consequences, no issues, change the choice. Na? Choices are in our hands, always is. So wherever, in whichever area of life, be it health, relationship, career, money, anything, if you are not happy with the consequences, just change the choice. What happens is we don't change the choice, but we expect the consequences to change. That is never going to happen. Unless or until the choice changes, the consequence will not change on its own. That's for the reading of today. In case anybody has any doubts or wants to share anything regarding this or any kind of an experience you can gather where you changed the choice and the consequences changed.
So, like the other thoughts and feelings which attract how you think or how you feel, love is also a very strong feeling. If you are not receiving the opposite of love, if you still continue to send love, after some point of time, the feeling coming from the other side also changes. So that is the power of love. Uh, that's what my understanding of love is, that it's the see, like you said, it's on the top of the feelings chart, as because it's because of that that the universe literally exists, because of the power of love. Because when there is love, there is creativity. So that's how creation is made. So, like when we say that feelings have, or feelings or thoughts or emotions have the power to create, love itself can create change. The choice is to be love. Actually, it's more like, so once I had done a play which was called Prem Ki Paribhasha in Hindi, and that is what the play was all about, which I have now understood after many years of doing the play, that it's not only maternal love, romantic love, love for your brother, sister, family, parents. It's unconditional love across everything, is what my understanding is.
Absolutely right. That's the power force. That's the force of the universe, force of the God, whatever you call it. That is what is driving everything. Passion also comes into it. Everything comes into it. When you're talking about creation, we are created through an act of love. So the premises of creation is definitely love. And it's a huge term. You can write the whole, just a book on love. There's I don't know if you guys like Osho. There's a very nice book by Osho, Being in Love. Very nice. And it, clearly explains what love is and everything. Nicely explained by him.
Arjun, I had a different perspective. You said, or at least the book said that yeah, love may be the origin of everything, but then you do a lot of things out of responsibility, uh, and maybe not out of love. You know, because you need to get up and you need to do those things. So you do them. And yes, I agree that they are the choices that you've made, right? And the consequences are of the choices that you have made. But I don't know whether my responsibility is coming from love or not. You know what I mean? So that's something which maybe during the course of the reading, that's one of the questions I ask, which we'll try and figure out together as a group meeting.
This was a very nice topic you brought up, because recently it was we had gone for this course. There are three basic things in life जिसके पीछे हम चलते हैं: passion, purpose, and profession. I am passionate about something. This is my purpose of, whatever was my purpose of this life, and this is my profession. Very rare these three meet. When they meet, that becomes ikigai. So the profession, if it's coming from your responsibility, yes, we need to earn money, we need to be the provider for, for the family and everything. That is your professional goal. But there has to be something you're passionate about. There you will see the love. For sure, you will see the love there. Because when you're following your passion, time you would not have any this thing about time.
Yeah, I agree there. If I'm sitting and sketching like I like doing, then time has no meaning, really speaking. So I understand the difference there.
Yeah.
Sure, let's figure this out.
Once you figure out the purpose, the passion, and profession, if all these three come one, you get the ikigai. So that's the whole journey of life. So we'll figure it out. Yeah, because getting all these three in the right, in the same thing, it's everybody's dream.
Also, sometimes we confuse challenges of life as lack of love, right? I don't know if I'm making sense. If you are having challenges in life, you think there is, uh, oh, I'm, why can't I make my life work, right? Uh, why? It's also again is because of lack of love. Is what my research and my understanding of it says. When things are not working the way you want them, is also because somewhere deep down there is lack of loving yourself, everything. Like they say, if you just pour love energy into it, I don't know, I mean, that's what I've read and I've understood about it as a force.
No, it can be that way, but somehow I would slightly disagree, because if something is not happening and it's a challenge, I mean, there is something to learn. There's something to learn. I mean, all experiences are there to teach you something.
But also you can change those challenges to positive learnings, and sometimes we think that we learned something, but it was in the negative sense. But if we channelize it through love, our learnings can be positive, right? I mean,
See, I'll tell you, the whole issue about positive or negative is very, very personal. It varies person to person.
Person to
At the end of
person.
the day, there is a lesson. I
Yeah.
take it positive, the other person takes it negative. It's a very, very individualistic perspective. Whatever is positive for me can be negative for somebody else. Whatever is
Right.
negative for the other person can be positive for me. So the experience and the lesson in itself is not positive or negative. It's the way we perceive it. That's what makes it positive or negative. Ultimately, it is just the experience.
Yeah, just to add to what you guys said, I think if we have a very clear image about what we want in life, our desires, like going back to the first chapter of Magic, where they asked us to list down our desires. So if we have a very clear image of our desires, then even if we are in a negative environment or in a situation, but we are in that situation because that is leading to our desires in one way or the other. Otherwise, we will not be in that situation anyway. I mean, if today I'm taking responsibility for something which I don't want to take, but I have to take, then one thing is that I stop taking it because it is not leading me in any way to my desires. But if it is leading in any way to my desires in future, then I have to take some responsibility of it. Maybe some part of it I don't like to take, but some part of it I like to take because I'm getting something from it in return, which is going to fulfill my desire. So if I have a very clear image of, that this situation or this moment is very negative, but I have to look at only the positive because it is I have a very, what I can see is only machli ki aankh, like an Arjun. I can only see that, and I don't see whatever is going around that. Then that will motivate me to, take the negatives out and only look at the positive. So then automatically I'll start taking it as a challenge, or I'll start taking it as a, as a testing time, or whatever I may call it, to make myself positive. So that, I think, it's very important that every situation which you are in, or your day-to-day life, what you're doing, you have a very clear picture as to how what you're doing on day-to-day life is leading to your desires in life. So if today I'm doing something which is out of responsibility, and I know that I have to do it because it's my profession, but there will be something in that profession or that responsibility which I like, because maybe it is helping me achieve something, maybe to take care of myself, my family, which is also one of my desires, to take care of my family. Because as long as your whole life is not balanced, you cannot fulfill all your desires. So in some way, that is also helping you achieve your desires. So you have to slowly turn it with the power, like you said, of love and other things, and then see your desires, and then slowly come out of the things which you don't want to do and you're doing out of compulsions or XYZ, and sticking to the things which you are getting from it, which are some desires which are getting fulfilled, and then change your course of life and take those choices in the coming time, like you said, which will then take you towards those desires, which could be a very slow process, but I think eventually that can happen.
Yeah, it can. But the whole issue is basically now everything, if you put is as an if, it's like if Queen had a pair of equipment, she would be a king. Na? So the promises of if में तो कुछ भी कर सकते हैं. So basically